So my daughter Chloe was 15 when she suddenly developed a pain in her leg. We were told at diagnosis, because the cancer had already spread into her lungs, that there was a 25% chance of the treatment working. It was using drugs that were 30 to 40 years old. These were hard, heavy chemotherapy drugs. We'd run out of all options. There was one new drug on the table. When we went to apply to get onto the trial, we were told there was a lower age range of 18. Chloe was 17 3/4.
A lot of clinical trials traditionally, and for no really good reason, start at the age of 18. I think it's been more an artificial barrier. It's easier to do it above the age of 18. It's our comfort zone.
Chloe could not get onto that trial until she was 18. Well, when she was 18, she got on the trial and she died 2 weeks later.
There's no biological or safety reason why we can't take that age group down to 12 to open up clinical trials in diseases where it's relevant and where it's safe to the younger adolescents, so they will have access to these trials.
The drug development process for pediatric cancer is a very complex issue. There are many different types of cancer and very few patients in each type of cancer, which makes it challenging to have a sample of patients.
You hear this on the news all the time, blockbuster drugs. It seems like tomorrow cancer is just going to be a chronic disease. And it's true, there's been huge advances in cancer drug development, but not for children. Most people don't know that. Most people assume that children would be a priority. They're not.
So the issues are complex, these things are, otherwise change would have happened. But there is one single thing that can be done right now that would make a massive difference for fewer children dying of cancer in the future, and that is to get rid of the 18 lower age limit to access clinical trials.
We know now, more than we did many years ago, that it is safe to protect our children through research, if you like. They shouldn't be protected from research, they should be protected through research.
The real problem of getting teenagers in adult trials is that it's a matter of mentality. Pediatric oncology has developed in its own, adult oncology in its own, and working together is something we are not used to do.
We need better and stronger partnership between the scientists, between the clinicians, and the pharmaceutical company, because clearly we need to significantly improve the way to choose, oh, this drug should be developed and this one should not.
So the science is evolving, so as we learn more about the underlying drivers of pediatric oncology, and as we identify more targets that we can drug, that's one way that we will foster development of new agents, but also a willingness and an openness on the part of industry and to have this multi-stakeholder collaboration so that when we do identify a target that's relevant in a pediatric malignancy, that we can foster the development of that drug.
There is a need for coming together across Europe and even across the world. Parents, patient advocates, NGOs, we all have been working somewhat separately, and we need to come together and push for better and gentler treatments for children with cancer. And that's one of our main goals with Unite2Cure.
We need the parent voice in these conversations because we are the people that really understand what somebody sitting there and putting a tick in the box that says we do not want to trial our drug on a child under 18. For them, it's just ticking a box. For me, it meant my child died.
It would be my hope that age limits wouldn't be the barrier in the future, that we don't look at whether a trial is relevant above 18, below 18. It's about the biology of the drug and the needs of the patient, and that's where the future of clinical trials needs to be.